Ever felt an intense fear of being alone? Welcome to the world of borderline personality disorder, or BPD as it's often called. Today we delve deep into this complex disorder. BPD is a mental health condition that affects around 1 to 2% of the global population. It's marked by patterns of instability in mood, behavior, self-image, and functioning, which can severely impact an individual's life. People with BPD often find it challenging to manage their emotions and thoughts, leading to impulsive actions and unstable relationships. Furthermore, they may experience intense episodes of anger, depression, and anxiety that can last from a few hours to a few days. The complexity of BPD makes it a subject of great interest in the field of psychology, as understanding it can help us better comprehend the human mind and behavior. In this video, we'll explore the key characteristics that define BPD. First off, we explore emotional dysregulation, a key feature of BPD. This characteristic is marked by intense and unstable emotions. Picture a pendulum swinging wildly from one extreme to another. That's how rapidly moods can shift for someone with BPD. One moment they might be feeling an intense joy, and the next they could be plunged into a deep sadness. This emotional volatility isn't just about experiencing feelings more intensely. It also involves a struggle in regulating and managing these emotions. Imagine trying to hold back a tidal wave with just your hands. That's how overwhelming it can feel. What's more, these emotional shifts aren't always triggered by major life events. They can be set off by seemingly minor incidents like a passing comment or a change in plans. This emotional instability can often lead to a roller coaster of feelings in a very short span of time. Next, we delve into the intense fear of abandonment often experienced by those with BPD. Now imagine the feeling of being left alone, deserted, with no one to turn to. Imagine that fear being so overwhelming that it permeates every aspect of your life. This is the reality for individuals with borderline personality disorder. This fear of abandonment can manifest in various ways. It can lead to anxieties about being alone, worries about loved ones leaving, and a constant need for reassurance. The fear can be so intense that it drives individuals to become clingy or overly dependent on others. They may become desperate to keep people close, often leading to behaviors that ironically push others away. In relationships, this fear can cause turmoil and instability. It may lead to accusations, demands, and clinginess that can strain relationships. It's a tragic cycle where the fear of being left alone can actually lead to the very isolation they fear. This fear is so intense that it often dictates the behavior of those with BPD in their relationships. Impulsive behavior is another characteristic of BPD. This impulsivity can present itself in various aspects of life and is often driven by a need for immediate gratification or an escape from discomfort. Imagine, for instance, a sudden urge to spend money, even when it's not financially wise, or perhaps engaging in substance abuse as a way to numb emotional pain. This lack of restraint can also extend to reckless driving, where the thrill momentarily overshadows the danger. The same goes for binge eating, where the immediate satisfaction of taste and fullness provides a temporary distraction from distressing thoughts or feelings. However, it's important to remember that these actions are not simply bad habits. They are manifestations of a deeper struggle, a struggle to manage intense emotions and to find a sense of stability. Yet this impulsive behavior can lead to risky situations and further complications in the life of someone with BPD. It's a cycle that can be hard to break, but understanding is the first step toward change. Now, let's discuss the identity disturbance often seen in BPD. This is a complex facet of the disorder that can make navigating life particularly challenging. Imagine consistently feeling uncertain about who you truly are, what you want from life, or what your fundamental values are. It's like trying to sail a ship without a compass. People with borderline personality disorder may grapple with this kind of uncertainty. They may feel lost when it comes to making career decisions or choosing friends, often leading to frequent changes in jobs, friend groups, and even sexual orientation. It's as if they're constantly trying on new identities, hoping to find one that fits. This instability in self-concept often extends to their goals and values. One day, they might be passionate about a certain cause, and the next they might dismiss it entirely. This constant shift can make it difficult for them to establish a consistent, stable life. A shaky sense of identity can contribute to the emotional turmoil experienced by those with BPD. Interpersonal difficulties are another key feature of BPD. The relationships of those with borderline personality disorder can often be described as a roller coaster ride. There's a pattern of intense, passionate love for others, followed by severe devaluation. This cycle can cause relationships to be unstable and fraught with conflict. People with BPD may find themselves frequently changing friendships and romantic partnerships, unable to maintain a steady and harmonious connection. This is largely due to the emotional turbulence that they experience, which can manifest as anger, resentment, or even fear towards others. These intense conflicts can be very challenging for both the person with BPD and their loved ones. It's like walking on eggshells, never knowing when the next emotional upheaval will occur. The constant flux between idealization and devaluation can cause a great deal of stress and anxiety, making it difficult to maintain healthy, lasting relationships. These difficulties can result in a pattern of turbulent relationships that further exacerbate the emotional instability. Many individuals with BPD experience a chronic sense of emptiness. This sense of emptiness is not just a fleeting feeling of dissatisfaction or boredom. It's a profound, pervasive sense of hollowness that seems to permeate every aspect of a person's life. It's like living in a world devoid of color, where everything seems dull and lackluster. This chronic emptiness can be extremely distressing, and individuals with BPD may desperately seek ways to fill this void. They might turn to impulsive behaviors, such as reckless spending, substance abuse, or risky sexual behavior, in an attempt to feel something, anything, to break through the numbness. They may also seek meaning and fulfillment through their relationships. But these relationships can be unstable and fraught with conflict, as the individual's fear of abandonment and emotional instability often result in a cycle of idealizing and then devaluing their partners. This chronic emptiness can often lead to a constant search for something more, something fulfilling. Dissociation is another symptom that some individuals with BPD may experience. This is a psychological phenomenon where a person feels disconnected from themselves or reality. It's like watching yourself in a movie or feeling as though you're a spectator of your own life. This detachment can be particularly pronounced during times of stress. The world may suddenly seem unreal, as if it's a dream or a movie. It's a coping mechanism, a way to distance oneself from the intense emotional turmoil inside. One might experience a lack of continuity in their thoughts, memories, surroundings, actions, or identity. It's not uncommon for individuals with BPD to have difficulty remembering things because they were not fully present when they happened. Such episodes can be brief, lasting only a few moments, or they can go on for much longer periods, sometimes even days. It's a disconcerting experience, to say the least. Dissociation can add another layer of complexity to the experience of those with BPD. Now we touch on a very serious aspect of BPD: self-harming behaviors and suicidal thoughts. This is a stark reality for many individuals living with borderline personality disorder. Self-harming behaviors such as cutting or burning oneself are unfortunately common. They often serve as a coping mechanism to deal with the intense emotional pain that these individuals experience. While it may be hard for others to understand, for some, these behaviors provide a sense of control over their emotional turmoil. Equally as concerning is the high prevalence of suicidal thoughts and behaviors among those with BPD. These are often linked to feelings of hopelessness, intense emotional pain, or perceived rejection. It's important to remember that these aren't cries for attention, but rather desperate attempts to escape unbearable pain. In essence, these behaviors and thoughts are not the problem itself, but rather symptoms of the profound distress experienced by those with BPD. These behaviors and thoughts highlight the immense emotional pain experienced by those with BPD. Finally, we explore the challenges in treating BPD. Addressing borderline personality disorder is a complex task, typically requiring a well-rounded approach combining psychotherapy, medication, and support. Psychotherapy is a cornerstone in this process, helping individuals understand and manage their emotions, behaviors, and relationships more effectively. Medication, while not a cure, can help manage specific symptoms, and a supportive environment, whether it's family, friends, or a support group, can provide a much-needed safety net. However, individuals with BPD may grapple with fully engaging in therapy. Trust issues can make it difficult for them to form a therapeutic alliance with their counselor or therapist. Fears of therapy termination may also come into play, creating a barrier to consistent attendance. Additionally, a sense of hopelessness about change can be a significant impediment. Despite these challenges, treatment is possible, and many individuals with BPD can lead fulfilling lives with the right support and therapy.